What's up, guys? I want to do a little talk and review of my Kawasaki Ninja zx10r. Overall, I think this is a great bike. I want to go and give you guys a little information about myself. I'm 6 foot, even roughly, 156 pounds, and for me being, my size, this is a great bike. I did get it a little late into the season of riding, but still is no big deal. I still had a blast with this bike. I mean, it has been just awesome. I got a really good deal on it. When I went to go look at it, the guy I was getting it from, which I'm friends with him now, but the guy I went to go get it off of, he wasn't very comfortable with me riding it without having payment there, which was totally understandable. So I said, you know what, screw it. Went to the bank, did all that fun stuff, and so I got it. Never even rode it. So I purchased it, and later that evening is when I rode it for the first time, and it was no regret. I mean, it was what I was looking for in a bike. Just sounded awesome. It handled awesome. Just overall, I have no complaints with this bike. This is obviously the black and red edition. Kawasaki, obviously, your normal colors, green or black. A few things about this bike that I wanted to just kind of point out, this bike stock has a real big, ugly looking muffler on it. They're slip-on. Like most bikes, they're just big and bulky and they're just hideous looking. Most bikes, when you buy them, they also have a clear windshield. This bike, it has carbon fiber Grays Motorsports slip-on. Also has an aftermarket header, Cat Delete. I'm not 100% sure on the header brand, but it is aftermarket. It sounds amazing. We have the tinted windshield on it. As you can see on the zx10r on this generation, it doesn't have any blinkers on the fairings because they're built into the mirrors. The stock headlight bulbs, I removed them and I put an aftermarket LED bulb in there. I just like LEDs, I like being bright, especially on a motorcycle these days. I want to make sure I am seen and visible because, if you're ever in an accident, if someone hits you, their first thing they say is, "Oh my God, well, I didn't see you." So I try to make that pretty much an impossible excuse. So in that case, the bike is factory with an LED tail light, so I put just stupid bright LED headlights in it. I'll show you in a second. We did put the reflective red wheel stripes on it. Gave it a little bit of extra pop, kind of just add a little more red to it. I thought it looked really good. Again, about the bike, actually it has ABS. It's pretty cool. Has 3 different power settings. It has full power, like a medium power and a low power. I have tried out all of them. The only real big difference I can tell between all of them is, if you're in the medium power and the low power, the only real big difference I can really tell is your throttle response is a lot more sluggish. So, if you're into riding wheelies and stuff into that, just leave it in full power. Don't get that throttle hesitation. Just make it to where it's fully there at all times. The bike is also equipped with a track timer. Super cool. During riding season, I went to Mount Storm with a few buddies, and what was really cool about that track timer was, with me, I've had a lot of experiences on many different bikes, between four-wheelers, dirt bikes, street bikes, just a little bit of everything. I will admit this is the biggest and the baddest bike I have owned. I mean, I went from a carbureted 600 that I had for quite a while to this, and man, I'm telling you, it was just insane, the difference. But anyway, yeah, back to the Mount Storm ride. I went there with my buddies, and I know my limits pretty well on things. I'm not trying to ride anything out of what I know I can handle. But after you start getting used to your certain riding routine, your certain area where you're at, you'll get used to it. You push yourself a little bit more, and that is why track timer was just so cool, because I could track my time, you know, top to bottom, you know, try to beat my time a little bit. So that was cool. And you know, there's guys also ride on tracks, so that it helps for that, obviously. The bike is equipped with Showa suspension, and I'm telling you, they're comfortable. You know, street bikes are not tend to really be comfortable. They're just made for speed. I mean, it is what it is. You know, they're not a Harley. They're not just a sport. You know, they're not like a dresser or anything like that. But this bike, you know, for it being what it is, you know, it's a street bike. For it being what it is, it rides awesome. I mean, it is comfortable. You know, if you also ride a lot, you're used to riding. You know, so you're used to having the arm pump feeling. You know, you just don't get that feeling anymore. The bike, like when you're riding it, like I said, I'm about 6 foot tall, roughly, maybe a little less. You know, when I'm riding this bike, it's awesome. Like, you know, I sit on it perfect. You know, with my weight, you know, it's just really nice how it feels. You know, the seats are comfortable. I do have the Michelin Pilot tires on it. They were actually on the bike when I purchased it. They wear, in my opinion, they seem to wear pretty good. I'm sure there is better. I honestly could not tell you. But they have wore great through the season. I'm due for a new set now. I actually have them. I just got to put them on. But they do grip really, really well. You know, I was getting a little bit more fearless, I guess you could say, and I've been trying to ride wheelies, and I got decently on them, I guess. You know, with this bike, it was no problem rolling about, you know, 45, 50 mile an hour, just giving it a good clutch dump. You know, it was nothing for that tire just to grip right now and just pull that front tire off the ground. I mean, so that was, you know, you don't want to spin, obviously. but yeah, this bike, I mean, it is amazing. I mean, I love it. I really am so glad I got it. It has just a little over 28,000 miles on it, and knock on wood, I have yet had any mechanical issues out of this thing. I purchased the bike off the original owner, and as far as I know, he also didn't have any mechanical issues. You know, obviously you have your bike maintenance. It's a bike, they all have maintenance. You know, tires, oil change, sprockets, you know, just stuff like that, obvious maintenance. I have been pretty good on keeping up on the maintenance. I've been trying to stay with, every time I ride it, I try to clean it off and give it a good wipe down. With it being pretty much winter now, I do keep it in the house. Yeah, but like I said, the 28,000 miles, haven't had any mechanical issues. I have not had any kind of fuel injection issues, nothing like that. You know, no check engine lights or warning lights or nothing like that. The bike still, even when it's cold, I fire it up. I don't have any engine noise out of it. I mean, everything's pretty well, still pretty solid on it. I don't have any leaks. Like I said, back to the Graves exhaust, it sounds awesome. It's a real deep tone. It's a street bike. Obviously, you're getting high RPMs. They just a wicked sound. Just the street bike sound. It just gets you excited. But like I said, back to like the LED stuff. The tail light is factory LED. It's, I guess you'd call it clear. Some people say it's like a chrome-ish color because you can get that or you can get smoke. This bike has the chrome clear on it, and what I am looking to do actually here pretty soon is these blinkers right here. I will be getting rid of them. Now, obviously, this bike and many of other bikes, they have just a really big, nasty-looking, bulky, you know, plate and blinker holder back here, and you know they usually have like reflectors and stuff built onto them. They're hideous looking. I mean, my God, they hang down to like clear to here. That was deleted, and it has now just a real slim license plate holder, and you know your blinkers mounted to it too. It's a Yoshimura brand. It's LED, very bright. It's just visible. You know, it's nice. It's bright. It's bright enough to see the plate and stuff. It does shine down pretty good, along with the LED brake light. You know, it's definitely visible at night. But again, like what I like to do here shortly, definitely before riding season comes back around, I will be getting rid of these blinkers for this generation body style zx10r. This little black panel right here is actually removable. It's not connected to the top piece or the pane on the bottom. This is removable, and this is actually a blinker. You can get them, I've seen them actually many places. I actually originally discovered them scrolling through Amazon one day. I was just looking at little, little things like, maybe I want carbon fiber, little hints of things. And I ran across them and I was like, oh man, those are like really cool looking. So I looked into them a little more and I ended up finding them on eBay, and then a couple other pages get them. They all seem to be pretty much the same quality. It just looks like one place is selling them on like every website. And out of all the websites, eBay and actual stores and Amazon, there's like maybe like a $2 or $3 difference. So I'm assuming they're all still the same brand. None of them don't look any cheap quality made. You can also purchase those in the see-through or chrome, if you want to call them, and the smoked lens to match whatever tail light you have. That was cool. So definitely we'll be doing that and get rid of these bulky blinkers up here. Didn't have to worry about that on a front cowl because they're built in the mirror, obviously. I won't be. They do make the delete plates if you want to get rid of your mirrors and just put like the delete caps on them, but no, I'm not going to try to get any kind of crap from an inspection station or anything like that. I know most people don't care about that, but I try to keep everything good on it because, like I said, these days nobody, dude, when you're on a motorcycle, nobody cares. I mean, people in vehicles, they just see it as they're way bigger than you. They can overpower you, so whatever, you'll get out of their way. Well, no, it does not work like that. So you never know if you're going to be hit. I try to keep everything well caught up on it, inspections, everything, just make sure everything's legal because you just never know when something's going to happen. Bike has the ABS. They have the ABS model and they don't have the ABS model. This is equipped with ABS. Seats are pretty well comfortable. There's other brands out there that make more comfortable seats. I don't really have any complaints on the bike, really. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on other generations of the zx10r, but I know like most of this body style, like this is a 2012 model. The 2012 model zx10r, the fairings on the front right here in this area, they kind of sleek down a little more pointed. It looks good, but then like it looks good like when you're off the bike, but in my opinion, like when you're sitting on the bike looking down at it, it's like, I don't know, it just looks too small. And that's the thing with this bike, like you look at it from the sides and it's like, man, it just looks nice. It just all comes together real nice. And you sit on it, it looks a little wide, but it's still no big deal. It's still a very sleek looking sharp bike. This is by far my favorite generation of the zx10r. I got a very good deal on this thing, like I said, so I had to pull the trigger on getting it. And again, I mean, just absolutely no complaints. I love this bike. I mean, everything is it's just well put together. I mean, Kawasaki really did do, in my personal opinion, Kawasaki did an awesome job putting this bike together. I mean, it just the way it looks, it's sleek, it's just the right amount of length. It's overall just nice. Actually, if I had to be kind of picky about one thing on the back, the very, very back of this bike is, in my opinion, it is too flat. Like, the back of it is literally just straight across. I think that is the only thing I just do not like about this bike. But I was not going to let that stop me from getting the bike. I actually have watched videos of people putting the zx10r rear end on it, little slight modifications to do so, but I'm not going to worry about stuff like that. That's just little stuff I'm not going to worry about. Overall, this bike in specific is still in very, very shape for being a 2012 model. I mean, just even the frame sliders, it just hasn't been laid down. I do have a little scratch right here from where a family member we was riding and he came a little close to me into a turn, but I mean, overall, man, this bike is nice. It handles nice. It rides nice. It sounds nice. It's just great. Factory, it does have the factory steering stabilizer on it. You can upgrade them, but why? I mean, the stock one works just fine. It's adjustable. The show suspension is adjustable also on the front. Your rear shocks, you always have adjustments. You can make the height a little bit different. But the front brake lever is also adjustable. They have the turn knob on them. I know like ASV and other brands like that, they make them adjustable or breakaway. You know, this being factory is not anywhere near breakaway at all. It just kind of, when you turn the knob, it adjusts it out a little bit farther. You can get it farther from your hand or closer to your hand. But you know, another thing I think is so nice about the front of this bike that just makes it just that little touch is really cool. Whenever you have, you can turn just like if you go to a store or something, or just, you know, anywhere. I mean, especially in the area I live in, you just want to kind of keep your things locked up. If you ever go to a store or whatever, you know, you can lock your handlebars. Well, you can also go back one more click and it turns, well, the bike is called a parking light pretty much. But, you know, it turns your tail light on, and right up here, and my air and duct, there is AV light right here, LED. And that just looks sharp in my opinion. I really like the way that comes down. Again, like I said, with the tail light being LED, I can show you just how bright it is. You can kind of see it on the wall there, but I mean, when you hit the brake, it's definitely bright. The cluster and everything, it's all digital. But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, Kawasaki really did, in my opinion, just an awesome job on this bike. It's sleek, it's nice. The braking on it is just awesome. Yeah, they, like most other bikes, they got pretty good upgrades that come with it. This bike is stock, other than having, you know, the full exhaust system. I will be looking to have a little more power before riding season comes back apart. Most people want me to put a power commander on it, which probably will happen, but I don't know if anybody's ever heard of it, but they have Gall Motors, and I've read a bunch of awesome reviews on those guys on Reflash Tunes. You can take the bike there, they can do it there, in-house, or you can just ship your ECU to them. Well, I will most likely just ship my ECU to them before riding season comes back up, because while I'm here in the house, you know, I can just go ahead and put my new tires on the bike. I can go and have the ECU flashed, and riding season comes around and I don't have to worry about that. It'll be done. I can just go out and just enjoy myself. But as reviews I was reading on those guys, they seem to be pretty legit. They get pretty awesome, good power difference out of them. So that should be pretty cool. The bike, in my opinion, it has awesome power now. So I could not imagine, you know, I don't really know how much, but I'm going to assume, you know, 30, 40 horsepower difference with a tune. That's crazy when it comes on a bike. So hopefully that'll all work out and that'll be cool. But if anyone has, you know, any questions about the ZX10R, or maybe even I left something out, you know, let me know. Ask me any questions, anything like that. Like I said, with me being my height, my weight, you know, I'm not a big guy, I'm not a real little guy. You know, this thing is awesome. I have no regret getting it. I mean, I love it. Couldn't ask for a better bike. You know, I'm sure there is better bikes out there. You know, all bikes have their pluses. Out of the bigger reviews that I've, you know, really seen on this bike, the one bike that was really going with this bike was the BMW S1000R, and those are wicked bikes. They are. They look wicked. I mean, they're nasty. But, you know, again, I'm not 100% sure on those bikes. I don't know a whole lot about them. I know a buddy of mine has one, and it is definitely an animal. But this bike, man, I love it. You know, when I started riding a bike, I actually had don't hold me to it, I'm pretty sure it was an 87. It was a CBR 1000. It was a Hurricane. And, oh my God, that bike was like literally like 1,000 pounds. It was the heaviest bike I've ever rode. I got it, and then, you know, I went from there. It was an okay bike. It ran okay for it being what it was. I eventually sold it, and, you know, some time went by. I went bikeless for a while, And then I come across a really good deal one day. It's really not looking, but I came across a good deal on a 1997 Honda CBR 600 F3. And it was, I tell you what, I mean, I've seen a lot of F3s, and this one was probably by far the cleanest I've seen in a while. Most people, you know, they'll lay them over, they'll bust the fairings up, and then after that, well, then they most likely turn into a stunt bike. Well, not me. This one was clean. It literally just needed tires, and you know, it had like a couple little cracks in the rear sides of the fairing. I fixed the fairings. I put brand new tires on it, and I put a smoked windshield on that bike, and I rode just the crap out of that bike. I mean, I rode it for the whole summer, and I sold it to a buddy of mine. So there again, I went bikeless for a while, and then I told my wife, I was like, man, I would really like to get another bike. All my buddies have bikes. I don't know why, but like it just like exploded one day. Everybody was just like, oh my god, man, we need to get bikes. So everybody's got bikes, and here I am at the house like, oh man, I can't ride. So I come across one of my buddies. I posted on one of our local motorcycle pages looking for, you know, a bike around this price range. And my buddy was like, man, you know, hey, I got a bike I'm wanting to sell. He was wanting to buy a KTM Super Duke. And that is also a very cool looking bike, but, you know, it wasn't something I was really looking for. So I said, all right, man, you know, hey, I'd like to check this out. Checked it out, you know, so checked it out. Obviously got it. And he went and got his KTM Super Duke. He seems to be enjoying it pretty well. But just again, guys, I mean, I honestly just cannot stress on how much I love this bike. And if you're looking for a bike, and this is, you know, you're looking for a sport bike, I 100% highly recommend you at least checking it out if you run across one. If you can run across one for a good deal, you know, the miles usually varies. This is 2012, and it's still booked for just right at 8,000. It's like 8,100 bucks. I didn't give anywhere near that for this, is why it was a good deal. So again, if you guys can come across one for, you know, $4 or $5 grand, I highly recommend at least checking it out, riding it if they'll let you ride it, because like I said, if you're anything like me, you just won't have any complaints with it. I mean, I love it. I rode my wife on it a few times, and you know, she seems to love it. Her complaint really is the back seat being smaller. You're on a sport bike, you're not going to have a real big back seat back there. To you ladies that, you know, have bigger butts. But yeah, that's just something you got to deal with, I guess. But again, yeah, I love this bike. I have no complaints out of it. It rides awesome. Again, it sounds awesome. Highly recommend it. But I'm gonna try to sum up the video on that today. This spring and this springtime, riding season's coming back around. I'm gonna be trying to just explode the channel with videos, upload them. I'm gonna try to upload a video every day, almost go into a vlog. Had a GoPro, ran it over with my Jeep. Long story. So, going to buy another one. Hopefully get some pretty cool videos in the spring. Hopefully a bunch of guys are still on the riding and all that. So, definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully keep you guys updated. I'll try to make some more videos as I try to do a couple more things to it. You know, maybe I'll do a tire mount video. You know, maybe I'll do a video on how to install those blinkers when I get them, or you know, how to pull the ECU out or anything like that. So hopefully that'll fire back up. But again, if you guys have any questions about anything to do with this bike or a bike like it, feel free to ask. I'll try to give you my honest and best opinion or answer that I can. Yeah, that's what's on this video, guys. Hope to see you next time.